It is a weekend again, and you made the right choice to kickstart it with me, your host, Danza Dlamini, right here on Fame Unfiltered. Our guest today, she's an amazing dancer, and that is Velile Dube. If you do not want to miss what she has to say, she will be sharing a life experience, what she's overcome in her hustle as a dancer. If you do not want to miss that, do not go anywhere because the interview, it is coming right up. Yes, today we have Velile Dube, and as I've mentioned, she's such a sensational dancer. I don't think I can even compete with her. So Velile, it's amazing to have you here today. Are you good?
Thank you. I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me.
So why ballet out of all dances? Because I know there's a different kind of dances, but why did you choose ballet?
I always say that ballet chose me because when I was young, I was just naturally, I was just naturally double jointed. So what happened was we moved to South Africa when I was like about 4 years old. And so when I was about 5 or 6, my brother, we stayed at a house, which was like right next to a recreation center in Orange Grove in South Africa, Joburg. So the first thing that he did, first we saw gymnastics at that recreation center, and then I was like, oh, this looks cool. And he's like, yeah, I think you would fit here, my older brother. And so I was like, okay, cool. And then we walked around only to see these girls in pink and doing ballet. And I'm like, no, I think I want to do that instead. So that's why I say like ballet just kind of chose me in terms of my body was just naturally flexible. I remember at a young age, I would do funny things with my body only to find that, you know, I'm going to take that path. And ever since then, I've just been doing ballet since.
Okay, as I know that as a young person, dance probably, as you're saying, it's been something since you were young. Family-wise, was there support? Because I know as a parent would say, I want my daughter to be a doctor, engineer. How was it for you?
At first, like when I say that my brother took me to the recreation center, so when I came back home to tell my mom, it was just like a thing of, okay, I'm sure she thought, it's just a hobby. Yeah. And so she's probably just going to get over it. But she did pay, and she did, which didn't happen, you know. She paid and everything else. And even times when she couldn't pay, because, you know, it's quite an expensive sport. When she couldn't pay, I would like roll on the floor and she'd have to make a plan, you know, type of a thing. So, and she would, but I think she thought once I go into high school or something, you know, it's going to fade out, and it didn't. And instead it got worse because I even like auditioned at the National School of Arts, which is like a high school, which specializes in art and academics. So for her, it was just like, yeah, she does say that at first she was just like, sure, and then what is this, you know? But after some time, after seeing that, you know, hey, there's some benefits out of this, so let me just let her continue. To be honest with you, yes, brothers and cousins and everyone, it's just like, you know, roll your eyes. But with my mom, I think she's one person who really supported it, and so I appreciate her for that. Because
so you've mentioned that you've got brother and cousins. The dance only fell upon you, or are they also into art, or they just completely different direction?
So my whole family is just not it's not artistic. My mom is not even a dancer, like or a performer. There's no musician in the family. Like there's no one. I'm the only one actually in the family who's doing the arts. Crazy. Yeah, I am. I am actually. Even my father's side. Yeah.
I've realized that in your social media pages you speak about your beautiful child. Could you please tell us about your child and what impact has brought into your life?
Sure, Kito. Hey, like, it was really, you know, they say you never raise me. Kito, well, her dad gave her. Okay, so she's Tswana. Her dad is South African. So, Kito Magelidisa. So she just, yeah, you're never ready, but you know, it happens.
Yeah.
Right. So it did happen, and she came into my life. She helped me to focus. I mean, I think I would probably just, I don't know where I'd be. I'd be out, yeah, I'd probably be overseas or something. Not to say that she held me back, but she definitely just like gave me like focus, you know, and she just gave me, I know that it sounds so cliche, but a child does definitely give you a reason to fight, and a reason to live, a reason to to do the most. Like I posted the other day that there's a lot I wouldn't know about myself if it wasn't for her. There's a lot I wouldn't have even moved back to Swaziland had it been for her. But I thought, I just, well, even my mom does have this thing that it's just Swaziland's got this thing where you can actually be a mom and and make it work. So I came back home for that reason, and also just to be around family. When you're a new mom, you need your family. So I came back here, and she's made such a very strong impact in my life. My family knows it. Everybody who's anybody knows that if it wasn't for Keats or Velile, it would probably be just somewhere, But she's definitely just brought direction. She's brought a sense of living. And so
I know that mothers, they tend to be too pushy. Are you trying to pull her towards the direction of dance, or you're just letting her be herself?
She's a natural.
Okay.
She's exactly like me. Actually, she took after me, and her dad is also a dancer. He has a dance company. So he's like he's also a ballerina. So I mean, her body just everything, her posture. As a baby, she was just like the first thing she did when she started sitting was to sit with her back so straight, and she's got that thing. But I'm not pushing her. She was interested at 2 years old. No, really, at 2 years old, she was just like, I even bought her like gear and everything. And then the moment she started school this year, she's just like, I'm just not about this life. So she doesn't do class anymore. She does when she's dressed, But even then, it's just like the first few exercises. After that, she's like, no, So I'm not pushing her. She can do her. I don't know what part she's going to take.
That's amazing. Because I know parents, they just push a child into a certain direction.
No, she's a natural. If she wanted to do it, when she's ready to do it, she's definitely just going to pick it up so quickly.
All right.
So if she ever wants to take that direction, but she's too young to even make up her mind on what she wants at the moment, so I'm not about to. She's going to just find her way like I did.
Okay, viewers at home, that's Velile Dube for you. We'll be right back. We are still with Velile Dube, and she's been telling us about her upbringing, how dancing has always been part of her life since she was very young. Velile, tell us about Kids in Motion. How did that start?
Okay, so that started 2016.
Okay.
And again, I say it was just the thing of coming back to Swaziland, because the thing is, I've always just been passionate about young women. Way back, I started an organization. It was called Pink. It was to inspire, just to motivate young people. And so, but that particular organization was focusing on teenage girls and everything else. So what happened is Pink, just disappeared. Pink disappeared. It's life, Pink disappeared. And I went back to Johannesburg, because I came back briefly, went back to Johannesburg. And when I came back, Kids in Motion just became revived, by chance. And I really think that this was just God saying to me, this is the path you need to take, because I mean, Pink was very broad. We're doing too many different things and trying to but then when I started ballet and Kids in Motion, just all came together. And so when I started in 2016, it was to just motivate young people to just make, better decisions in life. And one of the things that I've seen ballet do for me was to help me to just have a sense of direction and discipline, because with ballet, like I always say, there are things that I found myself not doing, because I was so busy working on my craft that, I didn't one of the time for other things. And also I was just so very careful about what goes into my body. Hence, in as much as I was surrounded by people probably doing drugs and also it's like, I can name, but I never found, because of that discipline that I had. So starting Kids in Motion for me was just to bring young people to a space, where they can discover who they are, into a space. So that's how Kids in Motion started, and it started with just 4 kids. Okay. That was 2016. And 3 years later, we have 60 girls. Wow. Even though we're looking for boys, we really would like to attract boys.
I don't understand. Why do boys always take a backseat in such
when it
things?
comes to such things? It's
Whether it's
stereotype.
Latin dance, whether it's ballet, they just take a
It's the
backseat.
stereotype that dance will make you,
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
if I could say, but I mean, if your child is just going to take that direction of being
exactly,
that
then
person, I mean,
control
that
it.
means that's who they are.
Yeah.
Last year, I brought the National School of Arts, my old high school,
Yeah.
to Royal Convention Center for a show, December, so we've got like an annual show. So there were a couple of boys who were there, and they were killing it. They are killing it,
exactly.
in the industry. So many young guys that are all over the world have started dance companies and who have started so many things, because dance not only just like opens your mind to just dancing, but it also opens your mind to so many things. You learn to discover, to just be confident to do anything. I mean, if you think even Arnold Schwarzenegger, he did ballet, so that opened it up to billboards, and like so many people that I know, they started with some other craft, only to be open-minded, to be able to do other things like drama and everything else. So so when Kids in Motion started, that was the goal, and still is, to just empower young girls, and it's happening, in such a, all the girls that are, they're not scared of anything. You can put them in any stage. Like before a performance, I'm always like, okay, so you guys don't be nervous. And it's like, no, they can't wait. But no, we're fine, we've got this. Like, put us on. They were performing at Bushfire, and so many performances they've done. The biggest was when they win Talent Africa in South Africa, and they were performing in front of, crowd was big, and they were just like, they killed it, to the point where they brought gold medals. So their confidence is, I wish to do more with other girls.
Okay, so tell us about the BBC experience too.
Well, that too was because, so like I'm saying, Talent Africa. So I took 15 girls to South Africa for a competition. It was just testing waters, really, as a choreographer and as a dance teacher, to see what's out there, what are we competing with, what's, because you need to go with the trends, and you need to and to just also see what's out there, only to find that they qualified so they did well at the regionals, nationals, and they were supposed to go to America for the internationals, but we're going to Croatia instead next year. So 15 of them, so the BBC saw the story about 15 girls from Eswatini going to America for the Talent America Internationals.
Is it all sponsored for the whole trip?
Unfortunately not.
From your pocket?
We're shame. It's self-funded by the parents at the moment, because I think dance is we're just introducing it very slowly in Swaziland. So ballet, is not, especially ballet. I mean, people look at it like it's so far away, and so I saw with the skepticism, it's just a bit extra in Swaziland at the moment, and we're trying to just say, hey, actually, and when you see these kids, like the current, so the BBC came to interview all 15 of them. They ended up interviewing one. Her name is Lwandle Mdluli. So actually, there's so many of them, of Lwandle Mdlulis in just at Kids in Motion, who are really, really exceptional dancers. Something that, I mean, at their age, I was still just like trying to, I think I was at a certain other level, but they're just like, so they're really talented. But yeah, it will one day, we hope, to be sponsored. Putting it out there.
Okay, you know what, Velile? Behind the scene of your hustle, I know right now we're seeing you posting on social media, things are happening, Kids in Motion, there's BBC. But what we do not know is, what was your journey before all this happened? Because I know everybody has challenges that you have to overcome, that you just deal with in your own private space. Do you remember a certain instant that you think you don't mind sharing, that actually took you into a corner whereby when you look back, you're like, no maganjan, it was all God? Because we all go through certain things, but there's this one experience that when you're in it, you're like, what? And put along and piggies. Yeah. It is God.
Well, it is. But it's just got to do with charity.
Yeah.
To be completely honest with you, it entails a relationship. Yeah. But I'm not gonna go deep into it.
Don't go deep. Just
but it entails
scratch
the surface. It entails a relationship.
Yeah.
Where I was in a relationship that was not good for me, and my spirit and my soul, my everything. You know, it was toxic. It wasn't for me. So that, and where I even lost myself, you know, where I lost myself, where I found myself just like not understanding where am I going, like, you know, like who am I, like, you know. So it was just like trying to look for myself in this relationship. And that particular, I even say that, you know what, I hadn't prayed like that, but when I decided to pray like that, because, you know, people will say that, you know, I'm scared to pray, you know, I don't want, because I don't want this relationship to end. Hey, maybe it's supposed to end. You know. So I prayed, and 2 months later something happened. I was like, hey, like I needed to be out, you know what I mean. So it feels good to finally be out of that situation or anything like that. But definitely relationships can get you to lose who you are. That's why they say you must be careful about who you choose. You find you are, and then you just have to find yourself again. So I can imagine people who are in relationships that are toxic and just staying there, how you can literally just die physically, get sick and die like dying, like as in going 6 feet down, because you're gonna get sick. You get sick. But anyway, guys, so that was one thing where God just like got me out of it, because, you know, he needed me to go back to a space where I needed to continue to do this, to inspire young people. You know what I mean? So,
but I think such experience is not something that you can regret, because it also is part of your journey to contribute to the person that you are. Now you know what you deserve, what you do not deserve. You know what you can handle and not handle. So I think it's also a blessing in disguise.
No, definitely. Everything we go through, you're supposed to go through it, you know, only to make you stronger. So I don't regret it. You know, it's there's lots of good that came out of it. So I don't. But definitely there is that element where I'm just like, you know what, it was becoming toxic. It wasn't good for me, because I mean, I'm not going to say the entire relationship was like that. You know, it was just towards the end. It was just like, oh, you know. So yeah, it's just. But I appreciate everything that happened.
Okay, that's Velile Dube for you. We'll be right back. We are back, and in the studio we have Velile Dube, and I am your host, Dianza Dlamini, and we've just been having interesting conversation about relationships. I don't know, everybody has been through that experience whereby, as she said, it literally kills you. But if you're in that situation, just pull yourself out. I don't know how, but just find a way to
pray.
Pray about it. Exactly. Pray. Others, they need you to fast.
No, really, you do. Hey, I remember, like, even a friend of mine said to me that I don't want to fast, because it was this fast, and she's like, you know what, I don't want to fast. I'm not ready to lose them. I'm like, Jesus, like, you should be fasting. I know. It's like, I'm not ready to lose them. I'm like, hey, maybe you should. But no, relationships can really.
So, Velile, what are your future projects? Do you have anything for adults?
I am working on it. It's just, you know, like when it comes to commitment, I think, like adults are too busy.
Yeah, and kids are easy to mold.
Kids are easy to mold, and for fitness, I mean, I can't say that I'm going to be training adults. So for adults, it's just going to be for training, you know, for fitness.
And stretching.
So not people don't commit to fitness, you know, to being fit. You know, I mean, I have started classes with adults, and it was like 20 people. I mean, it's like 5 people, and there's like 3 people, and it's like 2 people. It's like, what? I'm like, oh, you know what? I can't do this. I'm stick to the kids, you know. But I do have a workshop coming up it's this Saturday, actually. It's a mom and I, where I'm just like bringing women to come and just experience just how, you know, how dance can actually really make you so nice and fit. And you don't have to, because I know in their head they're just thinking I'm going to be stretching them, and it's not stretching. Like you felt it when I took classes with you, you know, you tone very nicely. So I'm going to hold workshops and do a few classes here and there with the dance, but it's not really my forte. I'm not moving that direction. I'm more about grooming the young.
Okay, so what is your advice to young people that also have a passion in dance, or currently doing something else, but dance is calling them? As you said, this generation right now, there's this energy movement of young people taking a stand for themselves, like, no, this is what I want to do. I'm dropping everything else. I want to sing, I want to dance, I want to do this. So what advice do you have for them?
Be realistic.
Yeah, you can look straight into the camera
and just connect to them. Okay, like, one thing I can say is, let's be realistic. You know, you can't at my age maybe say that you want to start dancing and that's like, and then start stopping everything in your life and then wanting to do dance. The thing, or anything. It's just you have to be talented to make it in this industry.
Yeah.
Like that's just the truth of the matter. So, just really try and find people and honest opinions around you to find out if this is really your path. Because that's another thing. You can't just say that you're a singer and then just go to idols and just become a wooden mic contender. Those people, they just don't have the right people around them to just tell them. So the advice would be that you just really need to search real deep and pray about it and really find out who are you and what are you really talented in. We all have talents. God wouldn't bring us here if there wasn't something that you were destined to be. But for you to get to that level where you find who you really are, it's a search. It's quite deep. You need to really go deep. So my advice would be that you must just try and really find if this
So social media handles. How do people get hold of you if they want to get in contact with you, are interested into dance, parents that are interested wanting to have their kids join your Kids in Motion?
Okay, so social media, Facebook, it's Kids in Motion, or Velile Dube. Instagram, Dube for myself though, or Kids in Motion. And Twitter, no, not on Twitter.
I know.
For some reason.
Alright.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear. It was such an amazing conversation to
Thank
have with
you.
you, and you're such an energy. It was great to have you guys. Viewers at home, that was Velile Dube, and till we meet again, goodbye and God bless.